Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, November 8th, 2022, and welcome back into another episode of the Bet on Me podcast. And we had a rough night last night when it came to Monday Night Football. If you guys and gals were out there watching, and I'm sure you were out there in sports betting land, we had the New Orleans Saints take on the Baltimore Ravens. Saints at home, and the Saints, I believe, were dogs at home. We had them, pretty sure we had them on the money line. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. We had, I know we had Kenyon Drake anytime touchdown last night. That hit for us. We had Taysom Hill, first touchdown score. Taysom Hill to score 2 touchdowns. Taysom Hill to score 3 touchdowns. We thought Taysom Hill would get in last night, and he didn't. And that's okay because we had Drake getting in, and I believe, I could find it here. Yeah, we had the Saints on the money line plus 110 is what it was. Ended up losing that game 27-13. I believe the under hit. And, it was just, it was a rough night. Thankfully, we had the Kenyon Drake play, got us at least a little bit of profit during that game. It wasn't all terrible to try to watch. The game itself was, from the beginning, if you bet on the Saints, you kind of knew from that first drive that, hey, this is going to be a long night. It's going to be a rough one because, Baltimore came to play. Justin Tucker's going to make one of his videos about us, after the game on the plane on the way home. This is apparently a thing now. I know we all seen Kirk Cousins looking, real cash money, 1999 from the 2000s, back on the plane on their way home after their win against one of his old teams, over the weekend. We had a decent weekend. We hit a couple. Last night we actually hit a pretty big one. It was plus 30,430, and I'm not even kidding. 30430 is the plus number above it, and it was a 9-leg parlay in the NBA. We had the under 226 in the Atlanta Hawks game, the Hawks plus 4. We had the Wizards plus 2.5. We had the under in the Phoenix Suns Philadelphia game of 214.5. We had the Bulls against the Raptors. Bulls winning that one on the money line minus 126. Sorry. The Spurs plus 7.5, and that one finished 115-109. So the Spurs kept up in that one for us. And also we had the under 216.5 on the Brooklyn Nets Dallas Mavericks game. The Nets lost that one 96-94. The under 234.5 Sacramento Kings Golden State Warriors. And the Golden State Warriors won that one. They actually got them a win there at home, 116-113 against Sacramento Kings. And we had the Los Angeles Clippers plus 5 against the Cavaliers. That game finished 117-119. The Clippers won outright. So tonight we've got some games we are looking at here. We've got some hockey. I know that college basketball has started, but I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys know I'm not big on half the slate being, a 10.5 point favorite. Maybe that's just me, but I'm not big on betting point spreads like that. That's why I like to stick to NFL. I barely bet college anymore because it's so damn hard to distinguish who's doing what, when's doing what, how's doing what, because these college games are just crazy the way they play out, A team earlier in the year looks like trash, ends up beating a team that is supposed to be one of the better teams in the nation. And then Tennessee, of course, shit the bed as they always do, which is why I'll never be a fan. I live in Tennessee, from the East Tennessee area, do the podcast out of the East Tennessee area. Was born right across the street from Neyland Stadium in St. Mary's Hospital, which is no longer there anymore. Right on the beautiful Tennessee River. I'm proud to be from Knoxville, proud to be from Tennessee, but I just can't stand the damn Vols. I don't know why. I know it's going to hurt a lot of people to hear me say it, but I'm a Florida Gator fan, and I know we're having an abysmal year. And I know a lot of people are like, why are you a Gator fan? Well, it's because I grew up in Knoxville, just hearing about how great every year Tennessee was. And, in 99, they won it. T. Martin, he got them a championship. I remember watching that whole year. Peerless Price, Peerless ended up playing for Atlanta. One of my favorite wide receivers. Just, T never got the credit. And, everybody acts like, I'm not saying Peyton's not great, but Peyton at the University of Tennessee was not as good as T. Martin. Obviously, T. Martin got it done. He had a better team around him. But the way they say Peyton operates, you would think that Peyton would have as many Super Bowl wins as Tom Brady does the way they talk about Peyton, And Tom Brady's still getting it done and giving you it felt fucking good, or fuck yeah, or whatever it is. That's the type of fire you want to feel. I feel like Peyton could still be playing, though. I'm not trying to throw shade on Peyton. I'm just saying, we didn't give T. Martin a lot of credit. A lot of credit's given to, Peyton Manning around here, which it should be. But, that's the only guy that's given us a national championship around here in these neck of the woods in a very long time. So I think we need to appreciate T. Martin. I know he's a coordinator somewhere. I don't know if it's for the Titans or where it is, but I know he's a coordinator somewhere right now. So hats off to T. Martin. We appreciate what he did for the Vols. But, yeah, I can't stand them. They have a fan base like the Dallas Cowboys. Every year it's their year, and even when they start to get close, they get real cocky. And, I knew the Georgia loss was going to happen and knock them down a little bit. But, yeah, we'll see what happens this weekend when they go take it out on a cupcake. Or I don't even know who they play this weekend. It doesn't matter. They're going to get a win this weekend. They'll probably cover. It'll probably go over. We'll take a look at those lines when they show up this weekend. We do bet a little bit on the college football, but it is difficult. Like, I saw that coming with Tennessee. I saw Georgia covering. I thought it would go over, but it got a little sloppy with the rain. So, ball gets a little harder to play here in the South when it starts raining and that wind is blowing. So it went under, but, Georgia still got the points cover there with the wind for us on that one. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into these hockey games tonight. Now, when it comes to who's doing what and how good teams are, I don't know right now. It's still early, guys. It's still way early in the season. We can compare and we can talk about, wins and losses and, what's going on as far as seeding, but I don't think any of that matters. Just like in the NBA, I don't think any of that matters right now. And what's crazy is I think I'm getting off track, just going everywhere today, guys. Turning back into a regular podcast, just kind of rambling. But I know there's more games in the NFL now, so I know the Bucks, after that win the other day, they're first in their division, and they are, what are they, like 2 and? Hold on, I gotta look this up, guys. I have to look this up. I have to see what they are now. Let's see here. 3 and 5. Yeah, they're 4 and 5 now, and first in their division. So, that's no hate on Tom Brady. It's just that's where we're at now with there's more games. There's like 18 games or something like that. So it's definitely coming, where it's going to be, different toward the end. We're going to see some teams that you're like, how does that record, how are they here with that record? Well, they stretched it out to about 18 games. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into these games tonight for hockey. We got the Vancouver Canucks taking on the Ottawa Senators. And let's go ahead and look at these numbers here. Vancouver is 3-6-3, so that means 3 losses, 6 wins, and 3 ties. And Ottawa is 4-7. That's what I'm saying. It's not the best time to be looking at hockey wins and losses, because that doesn't really show, what's going on as far as like how strong the teams are, because hockey is a game that it's a long grind. It's kind of like baseball. If you're not used to watching hockey, it's a long grind because the season gets started. These guys are playing like it's on ice. You're skating. You're fucking smashing into each other like football, and it's definitely a marathon, not a sprint. The game of hockey. But the Vancouver Canucks and the Ottawa Senators are playing tonight, and with these two teams coming in, I can't tell you who's going to win the game. Honestly, I have no idea, but I do have a little play on the total tonight. We're going to be taking the over of 6.5 on the total tonight. I just think the way the books are showing everything, the way the money's laying, just my interest in what I like on this game tonight, I like the over of 6.5 on the total. Vancouver Canucks, Ottawa Senators. Love hockey. Going to be watching some of it tonight. Not a lot of other things on. I'm pretty sure I can watch it. I don't know. I know ESPN used to have it on the Plus where you have to pay extra even if you have an ESPN package to watch a lot of the games. But FanDuel is actually streaming that game, it says. So that I can watch it there. That'll be awesome. I love FanDuel. It's an amazing app that brings all kinds of stuff to you. We've got the Golden Knights taking on the Maple Leafs tonight, and the Golden Knights are 11-2-0. So they've won 11, lost 2, and they don't have any ties. They're taking on the Maple Leafs that are 7 wins, 4 losses, and 2 ties. I guess I could give you guys the points there as well. The Golden Leafs, or the Golden Leafs, the Golden Knights have scored 22 goals. Maple Leafs have got 16 on the year. And in that one, it may be going against what I just said with how many goals scored, but I'm going to take the under of 6.5 on the total on that one. Like I said, not really sure about that game, who can get the win. I feel like it could be a close one. The Knights are a good team, but on the road, the Maple Leafs are definitely one of the more dominant teams that I see play at home. And like I said, it's still early in the season, but I'm just going off what I've seen in recent years. I think the Maple Leafs probably get the win tonight. I'm not putting anything on that tonight. My money is on the under of the total 6.5. Maple Leafs, Golden Knights. Moving on to the Blues Flyers game. This is another one of those games that I think goes under the total, under 6 right now, I believe, is where it's setting. The Flyers and the Blues. The Blues are always a favorite for some reason. I don't know why, but the Blues are always a favorite to, go and win it all. And I just think that tonight this one goes under. Yeah, the Blues, for some reason, they start slow. 3-7, always a favorite for some reason. You're always hearing them brought up on every podcast you're listening to. Talks about hockey every year in the beginning, how they're one of the favorites. I think they're just like a fan favorite. But the Flyers are 6-3. They got 2 ties to add along to that. But the Blues with 6 points on the year, and the Flyers with 14 points. 6 goals, and the Flyers with 14 goals on the year. I'm just thinking this one right here, it's a no-brainer. We're going to take the under of 6. If you want to buy half a point, I think you can there. It might cost you a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and take the under of 6 straight up, minus 110 on the money line, on the line there, the total line. Sorry guys, I can barely talk today. Some days. Came down with something last week, was sick pretty much all last week, just had a lot of grossness and mucus going on inside there, so not an excuse why we weren't doing the podcast, but nevertheless, still wasn't doing the podcast. You probably hear it on my voice now that it's still not really gone, but trying to get through it either way. COVID can't take us out, the Zika can't take us out, whatever, we're trying to power through all of it. Anyway, we got the New York Islanders taking on the Rangers tonight. The total in this one, I couldn't tell you. I honestly don't know. This could go, it's setting at 6 even right now, so it could go either way. The thing about that is, in a game like this where you got to in-state 2 teams that, this is going to be probably the most watched game tonight, I think. Hockey's really big up north there in New York. Everybody loves it up there, I think, more so than they do in the South and out west. So with the Islanders and the Rangers, both these teams very beloved by their fan bases, I couldn't tell you. I'd be afraid to take that total right there. If you're going to take it, I would at least buy a point or half a point or something, because, yeah, just 6. I feel like with that total, it's going to go over because they're going to both get to 3, and then, somebody's going to hit 4. Maybe get a cheap one there in the end. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm going to stay away from the total. Like I said, if you're going to take one, if you're going to take a total on that game tonight, I would take the over. I see both those teams getting to 3 points tonight. But I would have to take the money line play, New York Rangers, if I was going to take that one, minus 190. Guys, if you want to take them in regulation, you can. It might get done in regulation. I don't know. That way you could get a little bit better value on it. But, yeah, I think the Rangers just straight up get the win tonight. I don't know if I would take them on the puck line, but if you want to take the Islanders plus 1.5, that's minus 170. Like I've said, there's not a lot of value on that game. I guess the only value you could take would be the over of 6. But like I said, I really don't. It's one of those games that it could just be very defensive, or it could go 3-3 and end up somebody having to slap one in, or hell, it could go to overtime. I don't know. But I think if it does, either way, I think the winner of that game tonight is the Rangers. If you're going to take that minus 192, you'd want to throw it in a parlay or take them in regulation. I'm going to definitely throw that in a parlay. All 4 of those hockey plays I gave you guys and gals and everyone out there listening, that's my play today on the hockey. I'm going to throw it all in a parlay. I'm actually going to go ahead and lock it in right now here on the podcast, and we're going to see what happens with it tonight. So that's the play tonight. You'll be able to see that play out on – you'll be able to see this hockey play out on the Twitter, over on the Telegram if you want to follow there. The link will be down in the description. Over on the Instagram, over on the TikTok, I share plays. I don't really like to hang out on TikTok that much because a lot of hate over there on TikTok. You post wins, and then everybody's like, oh, you posted a loss. Well, I also post wins. Well, you don't post them here. Well, I post other places. I also do a podcast that's, posted on YouTube. You could follow me there and get all these plays as well. But, they're all free. None of them are, I don't charge for picks. I really don't want to charge for picks. At some point, I might do something where you can join, some kind of paid subscription thing that where, it's you can get all the picks, make sure you're getting them, getting the service and the full attention that you need. But, you're not going to get that for free, I don't think. I already do a lot of this for free, and it's just funny when people get mad over free picks that they didn't get because they don't follow you there. But like I said, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. If you want all of my picks, you need to follow the Telegram. That link is down below in the description. I share that link all the time on the Twitter. And the reason for that being is I can't post all my picks with everything I'm doing and, all the obligations I have outside of my work here to every single thing, every social media app. So I post them all to the Telegram. That way you can pop on there. It's notified. You get notified when I drop the pick, and you can put it in. And, make sure you're managing your bankroll too, guys and gals, and everyone else listening. Like, if you are working with $10 that day and you see that I put out 5 or 6 picks that day, then, there's nothing wrong with putting $1.25 on a game, $2 on a game. There's nothing wrong with taking some of my parlays and picking out the ones you want and, the games you like, and putting them together in something smaller. Like, you got to manage your bankroll. And if your bankroll starts out with $5, $10, there's nothing wrong with that. Play a percentage of that bankroll. Don't be embarrassed how little it is. It's not about impressing anyone. It's about you winning some damn money off these books. And remember, you got to crawl before you walk, guys. You're not going to come out swinging, hitting all these big parlays, all these parlays that people hit. Like yesterday, I think I played, 7 or 8 plays. I hit 2 of them. That's how it works. You're going to have to play a couple of games a day. You're not like this whole thinking that these people that post this stuff on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and it's like, oh, he hit a 9-leg parlay last night and he put $100, he won 10,000. Jesus Christ, why can't that be me? I'm not trying to advertise that's what I'm doing. I'm just showing you, hey, I hit these, here's where I did it. Definitely everything's not a winner. And I understand that makes people upset, but like I said, remember, you're not paying for it. It's free. And that's my PSA and my rant and all that. And, can't help but let something like that get under your skin, because I do hit a lot of winners, and it's definitely something that, I take a lot of time in when I'm doing. And, it's just, if you want that result for yourself, then you got to put the work in yourself. Don't tell somebody out here that, puts out pics on podcast and Twitter and Instagram and all that. And, if you see they post a winner somewhere else that you didn't get, don't get mad at them. Don't get mad at them. If you want to put in the time like cats are, because I promise you, nobody out here is winning bets that's just sitting on the toilet watching a YouTube video and going and to the app and hitting it in. The people that are hitting these parlays, like these parlays I hit, this isn't just random. I'm studying the lines. I've got systems and analytics that I use. I sit here a very long time in front of a computer and examine all this stuff while I put this stuff in, taking stuff out, putting stuff in. It's not just, here just for the hell of it. Sometimes whatever money you have left is what you'll throw on something for the hell of it. But every pick I put out, I actually study, look at. Like the Taysom Hill pick last night, on the models that I use, it showed that he was one of the only people on the Saints team that had a very high chance of scoring 2 touchdowns and 1 touchdown. On some of the books, like FanDuel had him at like plus 1,100, and other books had him at plus 700 to score first last night. So that's where that logic comes from. It's not just a random dart throw. It's actually studying the books, studying the money, studying the lines, looking at the models, looking at the analytics, going from there. You can do all that too if you don't have a full-time job. You kind of have to make this your full-time job, and I'm sure other cappers and podcasters out there can attest to that. And also, anybody out there that does, a full-time job and tries to do this stuff on the side, my hat is off to you, because Jesus, this is a lot of work. And when you actually win, it feels good, and you don't want nobody tearing you down. So keep up the good work, everyone out there that puts their nose down and gets in these books and tries to hit these winner. And big shout out to everybody out there who shares all this stuff for free, to all these people out here. And I really appreciate all the people that support and tell the picks, guys, gals, everyone out there, whatever you identify as. I hope everyone has a great night tonight in sports betting. I hope that, Thursday night football is good. Falcons and Carolina, it could be a bad one, but who knows, Hopefully the Thursday night game is exciting. Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers. Really looking forward to it. Gonna have some picks out for it, and we'll be watching some hockey tonight. So don't forget to go out there and get those bets in.